So today we are going to test one of the ultimate Boomer Fudd accessories, the laser grip. Okay, folks, so for some of you youngins out there that don't know what the laser grip is, heck, I don't even know if they still make these darn things. But the kids nowadays, right, the people nowadays, they poo-poo on this, but this was all the rage back in the day. Now, I did not purchase this. I got this. I bought a used Springfield Armory Ronin Commander 1911, chambered in 9mm, and it came with these. And I was like, well, I don't really want, but whatever, I'll keep them. I'll find something to do with them. And then I decided, hey, is this actually like obsolete technology, or do people just kind of move away from it? Are lasers in general kind of, I think they're kind of looked down upon, especially in the gun tube space and stuff like that. But I think they do have some advantages to them and definitely some disadvantages. But are they just a Boomer Fudd accessory from days gone by? Well, hopefully we'll try to figure that out, see if maybe there's still something that's viable today. You know, lasers in general, whether they're like mounted on an accessory rail or like they're like these grips. But yeah, we're going to do a little bit of shooting, and we're going to see what kind of maybe negatives and positives this thing has. So, okay, folks, so we're roughly 7 yards from this target. And I think one of the positives of lasers in general, whether it's the grips again or the rail mounted ones, is that you can be target focused. So nowadays, a lot of pistol shooters are relearning how they shoot, or the new ones coming up are learning the target focus. When I was shooting with irons years ago, it was front sight, front sight, front sight, front sight focus. Your front sight should be perfectly clear. Your target should be slightly blurry, and your rear sight should be slightly blurry, because your eyes can really only focus on one thing. Now, a lot of people are transitioning away from that, you'll see, and they're being a target focused and leaving the sights slightly blurry. That's definitely the way you should shoot with a red dot sight on a pistol. You should be looking at the target, place the dot over the spot you're looking at on the target. If I don't follow the dot, it'll mess you up. But so laser grips give you that target focus. You're putting the laser sight, I don't know if the camera's picking that up, I can't tell, it's kind of dark out here. You're putting the sight on the target. So let's just see how well that works. We got some 45 ball here. And we're going to see how well it works. Can you just, and to prove that, I'll shoot from down here so that I'm not using the sights. We'll just crank one off. I mean, that's kind of dead center. You know what I'm saying? I'm shooting at the middle one. That was that head target I used for a different review of a SIG P230 380. I don't know if that's posted yet. You know, if it is, I'll put a link down below. Great little gun from a bygone era of good SIG. But I digress. You see, that's almost dead center, okay? And that's from down here. So lasers offer an opportunity. Now, you're kind of, every breath you take or whatever is kind of, let me take some deep breaths, and hopefully the camera is picking this up. If not, I think I could zoom in and maybe we'll see it. But if I'm putting on the target and I'm taking deep breaths, there's a lot of movement. Every tiny little movement, the laser's moving, right? So let's see if we can get another one that's kind of close to that. That's pretty close. That's in. So you can see the muzzles right here. I'll do it. Here's another one. I'll do it from out here. So they're all in the black. That's not the greatest. You know, if I go and I control the handgun with two hands like you're supposed to, I mean, so that's one advantage. You could shoot from awkward positions. You could be on your back. The gun could be in awkward positions and you're more likely to, right there, that one's almost center. So that's a definite advantage, okay? Definite advantage because I'm not having to line any sights up. I'm not point shooting. Now, from this distance, 7 yards, you should be able just to fire from the hip without the aid of a laser. However, you definitely can make more accurate shots with the laser, okay? But let's see what we're doing here. Did the batteries run out on this sucker? Ooh, it might have. Oh no, I shut it off. Did I shut it off? That's okay. There's one thing right there. I have to go back and review the video. I don't know if I shut it off, but let me turn it around this way. As you could see, there's a tiny little recessed switch on there that you just turn on, off, that's on. Your pressure pad is right there. So it's natural when you're gripping the gun, you're just going to depress the pressure pad and boom, it pops right up. But it's kind of awkward. I will admit the grip is kind of awkward getting used to that, where you're like, it kind of feels weird under there. And the switch feels a little fragile. These grips are fragile. You adjust it right here for windage and elevation. I have it set, I think, for about 7 yards. As we can see, that was pretty much dead on. So yeah, there's some issues with this during the day. That's another thing. We're filming daytime today. I don't know if it will show up as well as it will at night. I suspect most, if you do it, I don't know if it's that much, but most encounters happen, you know, after dark, because that's when all the freaks come out at night. You know what I mean? So that's okay. You're going to get a longer range of vision, be able to see it at a longer distance when the darker it is. It is overcast today, so it's probably a little bit better than if it was real bright and sunny. And again, if it was, let's say snow was on the ground and it was a bright day out here, you would probably see this even less. So the distance is an issue. Batteries, fragility. If you were to drop this, let's say you're in a scuffle, drop it, you might, it might break them. So I don't know how well they stand up to torture, but there it is. You can get very, you don't really have to, the main advantage I think is awkward shooting positions. You just put the dot on there, put the laser on there and fire at extreme distance. It's not that great. So let me go get some more ammo and we'll just do a little bit more testing. Okay, folks, we are at 15 yards. Now, I can still see, this one will probably shoot a little bit high because again, I sighted it in for 7 yards. So it's going to be up high. It's going to cross that parallax, be up high at 15, but I can still see it. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but I can still see it at 15. On the target, if I go to the backstop, I could kind of see it on the backstop. I don't know how much, again, every tiny little movement, the farther you go out, the more you're going to overshoot the target or something like that. Let me see if I can. So I don't know if it's showing it. You can see some wood coming off the backstop. So I'm definitely hitting it. Looks like maybe, let me go back down here again yeah, see, you're going to have to, there we go. Yeah, it's difficult to pick up at this distance. It really is, especially during the daylight. And if some target's moving and you're just trying to sit here and line the laser up and they're not trying to get shot, you might, it would be difficult. I would much rather just stick the sights out and bust that dude. So yeah, it's definitely high at 15. So practicality, distance is an issue. Again, as I said before, let's empty this. Let's see, is it picking up on the steel? Yeah, there we go. So it has limited range and practicality, in my opinion. Let's go discuss it, kind of get some final thoughts on this. All right, folks, final thoughts on laser grips, practicality, and stuff like that. What do you guys run these? Now, of course, I say Boomer Fudd Accessory with all due respect. I'm a Fudd myself. I love single stack 1911, so I'm a Fudd, right? But yeah, it is kind of an accessory from a bygone era. I think nowadays a lot of the young kids, a lot of people don't run lasers anymore. Do you still run a laser? Let me know what you think about their practicality. I believe, here's what I believe. They are a close in, quick, self-defense accessory. And if you throw them on, like, let's say some of those Crimson Trace revolver grips and stuff like that, where you put it up there at night, put the laser on and shoot. Yeah, I think though, if you are really just fighting with somebody and you're in a hell of a scuffle and you're sitting there trying to find that laser to put on him. Whereas when you're up that close reactionary shooting, you just kind of, you can just hit him anyway. A couple of things also, not only because of the nature of the beast with the electronics and battery and all that kind of stuff, these grips have to be a lot thicker than normal grips. The right side of the pistol where the emitter is can be blocked by like cover, barricade, whatever. You can lose it. It is, I mean, this switch is recessed, and it's not difficult, but it's not easy to accidentally flip on. It's very tiny, kind of, what am I looking for? Fine motor skill type of thing. You got to put your little nail in there, turn it on and off. This bump is, to me, kind of irritating to turn it on. You know what I mean? It's a little bit of, let's see, is it on? Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a fan of these. It's like I said, I got these when I bought a used Springfield Army Ronin Commander in 9. And I took them off and threw the slim factory grips on, and these sat in a box. And I thought, hey, I was cleaning some stuff up. I'm like, oh yeah, I got these. And I'm thinking to myself, do they still even make these anymore? Do people still use these? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. I think they have very limited usefulness. And I think the industry has identified that, and they've kind of moved away from the whole laser thing. In the 80s with the Terminators and Lethal Weapons and all the movies and the Navy SEAL stuff, where it looks cool on camera, where they're clearing a house and there's fog and smoke and then the laser goes by the camera and you see it, it's all Spec Ops type of stuff. I think maybe that's what a lot of people thought was cool back in the day, but especially on handguns, but not so much today. So there it is, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. We will see you next time.